Oh, hey, welcome to another Tri-City Scuba gear tip session. We don't have a consistent name for these things because we just like to improvise. So today's topic is choosing a scuba regulator. We already talked about dive computers as being one of the most important parts of your life support system. Well, the next most important part is the part that gives you air, and that's a scuba regulator. Now, many of you will know that a regulator is comprised of two primary components. There is a first stage, which is the part that takes the high pressure air from that scuba cylinder on your back and converts it into a lower pressure breathable part that goes into the second stage. So the one that we normally breathe from, as you know, is called the primary, and then the octo is generally yellow. It has a yellow hose. Some of them just have a yellow faceplate. There's no right or wrong, that's just how they are. So being Canadian divers, people come in and say, I want to buy a regulator. Can I get a beginner set? Well, there really isn't such a thing. It's not like buying hockey equipment. A regulator is something that's going to last you theoretically for the rest of your life. Many of the manufacturers offer a parts for life program where they will provide the inner workings when you have these rebuilt, and they all have to be rebuilt at a certain interval, whether it's 1 to 3 years or a number of hours diving. They will give you the parts kits, which often can work out to the same as the labor to rebuild those. And we make them look brand new on the inside. We've seen regulators that have been beaten up and look like they've been pounded senseless on the outside, but they're pristine and wonderful on the inside. We take them back to factory spec when we service the regulators. Now you can see there's a few different brands here, and some of them are what's called environmentally sealed. Now in Canadian waters, we want that. They also call them cold water regulators. The point of a cold water regulator, like the Ziegel F8, is it's environmentally sealed. So that means that water does not penetrate the inside of the regulator. Why do we want that? Well, the intermediate pressure of the regulator when it comes from either the 3000 or 3500 PSI that's in the scuba cylinder cools it down by as much as 50 degrees Fahrenheit. You can imagine if there's water inside that regulator, it's going to super chill it and cause a free flow. Generally below 60 or 55 degrees Fahrenheit is when you'll find some freeze up inside the regulators and free flow. Don't worry, regulators are designed as a fail safe. So it's going to give you air like a big fire hose, so you have lots of air to get out. Of course, it's a little disconcerting. We don't want that. So when we dive in Canadian waters, again, we want that environmentally sealed regulator. There are a lot of different features, making breathing adjustable. Some of them are fixed. Some of them just have a Venturi assist. There's a lot of different things and some technical terms, and if you want us to baffle you with all kinds of technical jargon, give us a call, send us an email, or come on to the store and we'll go over it over and over and over again. If you want something that's not environmentally sealed, that is a great regulator for travel. You can get well, this one isn't less expensive necessarily, but some of the piston style regulators are. You can get regulators that are designed for travel. They're incredibly light and they're very flexible. You can get some very robust technical regulators. We can get you set up for side mount, for doubles, for rebreathers. Basically every kind of diving you can do them with a regulator. We carry a wide selection, in fact almost every brand that's manufactured out there. We have certain biases and favorites, and every diver will. If they don't tell you they have them, they're lying to you. Anyway, so what you want to look for is environmentally sealed. If I'm traveling down south, what's the benefit of an environmentally sealed cold water regulator? Well, the big thing is regulators are mostly made of brass. Now, this Atomic is stainless steel. You can get titanium regulators. You can get some that are specially molded space-age thermoplastics. Most regulators, the internal workings are brass. Salt water and brass equals corrosion and pitting. So if you can keep that salt water out of the inside of your regulator, say the same reason you'd want to do that with cold water, an environmentally sealed regulator will give you a much longer lifespan of that regulator by keeping that salt water from contaminating the inside of your regulator. So again, as with most types of dive gear, you come and tell us what it is you want to do with it, and we'll give you a best recommendation, or we'll educate you so that you can go off, get on the internet, and you can find the regulator that suits your needs best. Oh, speaking of the internet, if you're somebody who thinks you're going to get a great deal by buying something online, buyer beware. That Parts for Life program that we told you about earlier is something that is what's called a dealer level service agreement. Most of the time, those Parts for Life programs for most manufacturers are administered at the dealer level. It's a nice thing so you can come back and we can keep our doors on and our doors open. Well, the doors on the frames too, I suppose. But that helps us keep the lights on. I mean, we've got to make some money too. But the other thing is if you buy regulators from a website in the United States, you don't have any warranty in Canada, and they're not going to give you parts for life. So buyer beware, and there's all those other things about duties and brokerage and so forth. Anyway, we're here to give you some more information. Give us a call, drop us a line, visit us on the website, and talk to us about regulators. Thanks for watching.